This is 5 scary questions narcissists can't answer. That will make them fear you forever. Are you tired of being manipulated by a narcissistic person who arrogantly claims to have all the answers? Permit me to present a path to freedom from their egotistical grasp by dismantling their grandiose web of deceit. In all likelihood, the implementation of these strategies will prove more difficult than their formulation. However, do not despair. Today, I'm here to provide you with the tools and techniques you need to escape the suffocating grasp of these master manipulators, allowing you to beat them at their own game. I assure you that ignoring these priceless insights would be a regrettable oversight. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and enable notifications immediately. Collectively, we can reclaim our independence and assert our true superiority over those who assert unjustified authority. Now let's delve deeply into the first question that narcissists unfailingly dread answering, one that pertains to the very truth. Individuals who prioritize their self-interests above all else have an innate propensity to fabricate a complex web of falsehoods, frequently without logical necessity or bearing. It is in our best interest to recognize that truthfulness trumps all other considerations, making their tendency toward deceit completely inexplicable. I recollect a situation in which a mother expelled her own adolescent son from their home in the dark of night, tossing his personal belongings carelessly onto the lawn as if they were trash. In light of this, the father, who was in the midst of imminent divorce proceedings, had to undertake the arduous task of restoring order in the midst of such chaos. Surprisingly, the soon-to-be ex-wife emailed the school transportation service, pleading with them to pick up the child from the father's residence. This audacity leaves one speechless. In terms of pure absurdity, the labyrinthine domain of narcissistic behavior is without a doubt the only place where reality exceeds fiction. Expect to learn more about the complicated way narcissists think as we uncover their web of lies and strengthen our defenses against their controlling hold. What do you think about how the soon-to-be ex-wife has been acting? To put it simply, she took things into her own hands and made a court motion against her husband, saying that he had taken their son without her permission and in a way that was against the law. The irony is that the email she sent him that same night clearly goes against what she said. It is amazing to see how bold some people can be. But let's not lose sight of the most important truth. Narcissists think that anything that has to do with the truth is bad for their egos. When you ask them why they do certain things, they don't know what to say. They avoid, reject, divert, and project in any way they can to keep from having to face their mistakes. When a narcissist gets caught in a lie, they will do anything to get out of the consequences. I know what I'm talking about, and I've even made a whole movie about it. Still, it's important to realize that an ego can't handle the truth as it is. They will do whatever it takes to get away from it. With this information, we can take down their false fronts one truth bomb at a time. Now let's talk about something else that narcissists have trouble with, giving credit to others. If you ask a narcissist about an amazing party or a new idea that changed the workplace, don't expect them to give credit to anyone else. It's beyond what they can do. Why? Because they're afraid that giving credit to someone else would make them less well known and important. It looks a lot like a scarcity mentality on a bigger scale. This way of thinking is so strong that even easy questions like, what value does this person bring to your life, leave them dumbfounded. It's as if they don't know that other people exist or that they might be able to help improve their lives. It's important to remember that I've already talked about narcissistic personality disorder, which is a more serious form of narcissism. But these habits are spread out over a range. Even though we all want to be noticed and liked, some people are always thinking about themselves. If a narcissist recognized what someone else did, it would mean that they were not important. So, if you work with a narcissist, you shouldn't expect them to say nice things about other people. It's just not in their nature to do it. Now let us explore the third characteristic that poses difficulties for narcissists, facing losses or failures. Engaging in a discussion about their mistakes or setbacks will not yield positive results. They will manipulate facts to align with their distorted worldview. These tendencies are documented in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, the authoritative text utilized in identifying narcissistic personality disorder. Individuals of this nature reside in a realm where their perception revolves around their self-proclaimed excellence, rooted in fantastical thinking. If they encounter subpar performance in any endeavor, it shatters their carefully constructed world. The inability to cope with such circumstances becomes evident. Broaching the subject of loss or failure to them becomes reminiscent of banging one's head against a solid wall. This inclination showcases their weakened egos, prompting them to dismiss any notion that challenges their belief in their invincibility and flawlessness. Their self-inflated image is so paramount that conceding defeat or acknowledging an error is inconceivable. Expect their reaction to be one of rejection, accompanied by an abrupt shift in topic, a typical response in their repertoire. Now let us proceed to examine the fourth characteristic that proves challenging for narcissists, anything that induces feelings of shame or vulnerability. These individuals will go to great lengths to safeguard their feeble egos. Overwhelmed by shame and vulnerability, they resort to any means necessary to conceal these emotions from the outside world. It is as if they engage in a perpetual internal struggle between their fragile and apprehensive selves and the carefully constructed facade presented to others. Narcissists try to keep up the appearance of being strong, sure of themselves, and in charge. On the other hand, deep inside them is a person who is weak and afraid. It turns into a constant fight, and they will do anything to keep up this act. Working with a hidden narcissist is a whole different kind of task. They may act like victims or be kind and loving on the outside, but on the inside they have deep-seated anger and use cunning manipulation to get what they want. Importantly, these people will go to great steps to avoid anything that makes them feel ashamed or weak, even if it means hurting others. Unfortunately, this is not the only thing they do wrong. They also have a hard time keeping friends and making real relationships with people. If you've seen them be socially inept or have trouble keeping long-term relationships going, please tell me about it in the comments. Now, the fifth thing that narcissists can't deal with, anything that has to do with their ability to get along with others. Because they are always thinking about themselves and have a low sense of self-worth, even the smallest hint that they are not perfect in every way sends them into a state of chaos. Also, they have a hard time making friends. They don't know how to deal with feedback, criticism, or any sign of being wrong. They don't seem to be able to deal with any kind of weakness or shame. They will do anything to avoid these feelings, even if it means hurting themselves or others. If you try to question their ability to connect with other people, be ready to face their wrath. They use tricks like lying, gaslighting, projecting, moving blame, and making people feel bad about themselves to get other people to do what they want. Now let's delve into the 5 areas that narcissists evade discussing. The truth, acknowledging others' contributions, failures or losses, feelings of shame or vulnerability, and social skills. It is crucial to manage your expectations, as straightforward responses should not be anticipated when broaching these subjects. Instead, prepare to encounter an array of ambiguous replies and manipulative techniques, such as gaslighting, deceit, projection, blame shifting, and shaming of others. They will stop at nothing to confound you, leaving you unsettled and uncertain. This is particularly evident during negotiations with narcissists, as it becomes a binary proposition. You either align with their agenda or become their adversary. Once they perceive you as no longer being on their side, they will launch a full-scale offensive. Their aim is to sow doubt in your mind, challenge the validity of your perceptions, and undermine your sense of control over the situation. However, rest assured that I'm here to guide and support you. Take a moment to explore the valuable resources offered in my complimentary course, available in the section below. I believe you will find it beneficial. Share your experiences with these patterns in the comments section, as it is likely that many of you have encountered a narcissistic individual at least once in your lifetime. Friends, stay resilient. Remember, today is the ideal opportunity to negotiate for the life you deserve. Until our next encounter, take care. If you desire more content of this nature, ensure you subscribe and activate notifications. Let the journey of healing commence, and I look forward to reconnecting in the future.